Welcome to the last day of the Calcutta winter season. This is the 9th day of the summer meeting, 12th April. We have a card of 9 races ahead of us. We have added amounts to the jackpot pool of 1 lakh rupees net. We have 50,000 rupees added to the mini jackpot pool, and we have 25,000 rupees net, which has been added to the second and third treble pool of the day. Well, I'll try and share my selections, my top 3 for each of the 9 races, and we can see how it goes. The first race of the day is the Esquire Handicap to be run over a distance of 1200 meters. I've gone with 3 runners, number 2, 1 and 3. The reason I've done that, number 2 Indian Star, even though it's running over 1200 meters, its last start was over 1400 meters. Well, the way it was finishing on, I think if you see its earlier start in race number 74, it definitely is the frontline contender. Number 1 Astrid is my second pick. The reason I've selected Astrid is a speedy contender. If it's run up with the pace, I think Astrid can definitely figure in the finish. And number 3 UV, despite it not having a very excellent season, I think UV brings in a lot of class, and I think UV is your dark one of the race. Moving on to the second race of the day, which is the Fame Star Handicap. I've gone with 1, 4 and 5. It's a close call between 1 and 4. 1 is East Side. East Side has a burst of speed, which also Aaron has, so it will be interesting to see who can use it best, Rupal Singh or Akshay Kumar, and I think it's between those two the winner should emerge from. And number 5 Island Lass cannot be ruled out, with Hasib Alam keeping the mount, who went on a start to finish in his last start. I think Island Lass definitely should figure in the finish. Moving on to the third race of the day, the Nikita Handicap. It's a no-whip race over 1100 meters. Number 3, Bundle of Charm, was seen finishing on. It was its first start on the Calcutta track. It was veering out a little bit, but I think Imran Chisti is the perfect jockey to get the measure of that drift, and I think Bundle of Charm will be a very strong horse in this race. I've selected number 12 Riaz. The reason I've done that is a couple of reasons. One, it's carrying bottom weight, plus it gets the service of Haridas Gore, who claims 3 kilo allowance, and he's a jockey which comes with a lot of reputation from Western India. And Yaz going on a start to finish mission in a no whip race. I think it can make all of them run. It will be interesting to see how Haridas Gore uses takes the turn, because it's a very sharp turn compared to a lot of other race courses, and it's a very short straight, so you will need to watch out for that. And the other one, the dark one in this race, I've gone with is Jean Lafette. Despite disappointing me, I've fancied Jean Lafette quite a few times, but I think with K. Nazal on board, Jean Lafette should be given another chance. Moving on to the fourth race of the day, the Treasure Land Handicap. Over here we see a field of 6 runners, but I think number 3 Rimmel is your frontline contender, because it brings in a lot of class. It has raced with some very strong contenders. Number 2 Divine Hunt has been unlucky in 2 starts in this season, where it has finished on second each of the 2 times, and his last start was a little flat-footed, finish on 7th. I think it will come up from that run. And number 6 Thar has been running credible races, just not winning or not coming in second, but it has been running on board. So 3, 2, 6 are my selections for the fourth race. Moving on to the fifth race of the day, the Colonial Handicap. Over here I've gone with 2, 6, 1. Number 2 Dream Station was seen finishing on in its last start, and I think it was one of the eye catchers for me. Number 6 is Algoz. After having 2 educative runs, it finally came good in its last start, and it was very impressive to the eye. And number 1 Time was seen laboring in its first start on the Calcutta track. I think it should definitely run a better race this time with K. Nazal on board. I think Time would run a much better race today. So 2, 6, 1 are my selections for the fifth race of the day. The sixth race, I think it's a one-horse race according to me, because Torino was definitely the eye catcher of that race. Despite not winning that race, it was moving like a rocket into the last 200 meters, and I think Torino should take a lot of beating. But couple of runners which have experience on their side, Akanta and Aleta, both very well-bred horses. I think they should give Torino a run for its money, but I think Torino will still be a very strong horse to beat. The seventh race of the afternoon is a very classy affair. Over here I've gone with Number 9, Savichik. Inamurata was the previous name. Inamurata, now known as Savichik, comes from Western India. Its first start on the Calcutta track, it was given a breather into the last 600 meters, then kicked away. I think 1200 meters should not be a problem with Savichik. The other one I've selected is number 5, Only You. Only You steps back to 1200 meters. It's not its ideal trip, but I think it has a lot of class, and I think it has the fitness on its side. And the other runner is Celtic Harlequin, earlier known as Agostini Karachi. It has already a couple of wins in the season. I think Celtic Harlequin definitely has it in him to come out and run a big race again. So 9, 5, 10, that's my selection for the 7th race. Moving on to the 8th and penultimate race of the season, I've gone with 4, 1 and 3. Delfini was a little unlucky. It was beaten by its stablemate in his last start, where it was shaping like a winner in a blanket finish, but Tactical Command did that little bit extra. But today I think Delfini would be a strong horse to beat. Number 1, Anastasia, with the services of Haridas Gore, who claims 3 kilos off. Anastasia comes into the reckoning with that, and if it is ridden up with the pace, I think Anastasia will run a big race. Number 3, Monfortino, who runs from the front. I think with 1200 meters, Monfortino is one of your frontline contenders in this race. I've gone with Delfini because of his last start. It was a little unlucky, but Monfortino, Delfini, Anastasia is pretty close between these three. The last race of the season, the curtain comes down with the Amalita Handicap. I think Mentalist will be a very strong contender in this race. The other runner I've gone with is number 7, Compliance, and also I've selected number 6, Jinsuku. These are my top 3 for the last race. Just to recap for you, in the first race I've gone with 2, 1, 3. In the second race I've gone with 1, 4 and 5. In the third race I've gone with 3, 12 and 2. Then in the fourth race I've gone with 3, 2, 6. In the fifth race I've gone with 2, 6 and 1. In the sixth race I've gone with 2, 4 and 5. In the 7th race I've gone with 9, 5 and 10. And in the 8th race I've gone with 4, 1 and 3. And in the last leg I've gone with 3, 7, 6. Play responsibly. These are my selections. I would like to see them in the paddock, and I'd like to make a final call and also see the way the betting is trending, because you can follow the money and you can see how the horses are being fancied. So I will share my opinion once I see them in the paddock, but this is the way I read the race. You definitely can read the race differently, or these can be pointers for you to select it. Use your own imagination, own brain and own calculation. These are just pointers, and this is the way I read the races. So be responsible and play on our app, betindiaraces.com, or come on the track and enjoy the offerings that we have. Lovely live racing. We have drinks, we have foods. See you at the races. Bye.